Hey guys, so I got 3 high-end cymbals here from Zildjian. I'm gonna demo these for you today. We're gonna first talk about a little bit of the specs, some things that Zildjian says about the cymbals. And we're gonna do all sorts of different demos here, hitting the bells and the edge and the top and using mallets and playing in beats. We're gonna do all sorts of stuff to get really a full sense of the sonic characters on these cymbals. So as I mentioned, I have 3 lined up, right? I got a K style dark crash, an A custom, and an A heavy. The A heavy I've actually used a little bit before in the studio, but these 2 are brand spanking new. So let's jump into it and see what we think about them. Okay, so let's start all the way over to my right. This is the A heavy crash. Now, as I mentioned, I've used this one before. Little bit brief history on these. These are actually not really A cymbals. Zildjian used to make a line called the Z3s, which they discontinued, and they got rid of most of the cymbals in that line. However, the heavy crashes from that line, they rebranded as A's. So when you take a look at these, you'll notice that even though it says A, the hammering on these are actually very different from all the other A cymbals. It's got like these kind of big circles that are kind of protruding up on them. Like all A style cymbals, the hammering on them are uniform. Now, according to Zildjian, this is a super loud, super bright. I think they actually say it is the, now that it's an A, it is the brightest sounding cymbal in their A line. And I can tell you that I don't know about how bright it is compared to the other cymbals, but it is quite loud. I'll tell you that for sure. I do find that if I'm really, if I'm basically riding on the crash, it's actually very easy to control because of the weight, because of how heavy it is. One other thing to note is that the bell on this guy is actually pretty massive. And in fact, if we just take a look at some of these other cymbals, you know, these have kind of almost the K and the A custom. The size of the bell is actually, you know, pretty close. The A custom, I don't know if it might be just a little bit bigger, not quite sure. But yeah, the A heavy, or the former Z3, it's the bell is massive compared to the others. Moving on to the A custom. So note that on the A custom is actually a few different lines as well. And what you would normally see as an A custom, those are typically medium thins, but I got here what's a medium crash. So this is actually a little bit heavier than your typical A custom. Per Zildjian, these cymbals should be pretty loud. They should have a lot of attack, a lot of high end, but they should still have a lot of brilliance and musicality to them. Again, since it's an A style line, it has hammering, of course, but the hammering is uniform on the cymbal. And of course, it's got the brilliant style finish. Okay, now jumping over to the K, and I'm actually kind of excited to be trying this guy out. I don't know what it is, but you know, this K and the K customs, they have a lot of different lines, but for some reason I'm always drawn to the dark Ks or the dark custom Ks. So I'm really excited to try this one out. Hammering wise, since it is in the K family of cymbals, it has hammering, but the hammering is not uniform. It's done by a computer, of course, but it's done seemingly random, and that makes it so that the sound waves can't travel back and forth in a uniform fashion, and it causes the overtones to be produced differently. This cymbal is going to be much darker than the A and the A custom. One thing to note, one important thing to note, is that typically on your dark Ks, they usually come as a thin. Now this is a medium thin instead, so it is going to be a little bit thicker, and supposedly it should give us a fundamental note or overtones that are a little bit higher pitched than you would normally get from a thin. So again, to just quickly round things up, right, we got a medium thin, medium, and a heavy. So I'm expecting typically that the pitch is going to go up with the heavier cymbals, right? I'm expecting this is going to be like the lowest pitch, and then there might be a big jump to the A custom, and then the heavy is probably going to be the highest pitched. And I'm also expecting that the overtones between the A and the A custom are going to probably be pretty similar, and the K is going to be distinct to those. So did you guys have a favorite? If so, let me know in the comments below. I'm putting out other videos like this, by the way, other review videos and play-alongs and tips for recording your drums. So if you don't want to miss out on that stuff, then don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, peace.